Obviously you have some familiarity with handling like music, integrating music into productions, using rights, shooting performances. What was like the hardest song to clear here, and like the hardest like big production to shoot?
I think like it ended up being totally fine, and producers and the music team tried to keep some things away from me in terms of like who's going to say yes to the rights and stuff like that. And there were so many times where I was like, how expensive is Material Girl? Like trying to like put a budget together. But I would say the What a Man, Seven Nation Army, that like I had to shoot that in a day, making sure we got the rights to Seven Nation Army, not only getting the rights to that, which is this amazing, super cool song, and they gave us the rights, which was awesome. But they also let us like change some of the lyrics, which was incredible. And so that production was, those couple of days of shooting, that was pretty intense and in a cool way.
Yeah, and there's like a million people in that shoot,
yeah.
so it's
huge. There was like 200 extras, and it was a whole thing. It was the first week of March, so it was before any kind of shutdown.
I read in a recent interview in Variety that you did that you wanted this movie to be incredibly inclusive, and it is. And like if you look at that What a Man scene, like that's a great example of that.
Yeah.
When did you know that you'd switch things up with Fab G, with the godmother role? And like, did you think about having a royal family of color, or anything else that you were like mulling?
Yeah, I mean, at every turn, I was like, okay, how can I modernize it? How can I make it different? How can I make it worth people's money? Kind of thing. I'm like, well, what am I trying to say? And when it came to the fairy godmother, I was like, gosh, so many amazing women have played this role. And to me, like from go, I was like, I think I need to make this a man. Like I need to make this, like, I need to make this a gay man. I need to make that, like, I need to make this Billy Porter. That's what it became. It just became of like, who can, I think Billy Porter is magic. So it's like, who can do all the things that the fairy godmother does? And that was Billy. So that was like pretty early on. And I absolutely like weighed in on like all the, like if making the royal family a family of color or not. And there was something I wanted to try to say, that they were the most traditional, and they had to make the biggest turn, I'm really proud that the king sees things in a new way by the end. So it made more sense story-wise to make that a white family, and add Gwen as like make it a gender issue with that family, as opposed to a race. So that we could really show that this more traditional way of thinking could be changed, and that it's possible.
It is possible. It also is like it's kind of a generational thing there too, where it's the daughter, the kids are different. Ella is kind of funny in this movie. She's got some points, especially when she's dealing with Fab G. Like they have some good back and forth. But did you ever think about making this movie like a straight up comedy?
Yes, I mean that's what I tried to do.
But I mean, like really, like
without
blockers,
music. Like music was always was part of the DNA of the story as it was pitched to me. So I tried to make the comedy good for all ages, right? Like I tried to approach it like, it's a PG movie, so I tried to approach it like in an animated kind of way of like an animation, where you go see an animated movie that's really great, and like kids are laughing at one thing and the parents are laughing at another. Like that was kind of like my North Star. It was sort of like, it wasn't going to be a PG-13 movie. It's not like the same comedy as Pitch Perfect, right? Like it's tonally, it has to feel a little bit different. So that's how I was approaching it, and just trying to make the music combined with some comedic aspects to it, and still have the drama of the story as much as you can with a story that's so known. That was kind of like the nice little combination I was going for.
So many Cinderella adaptations focus on the loss of Ella's father and like how important he was to her. And like in this, it's not really discussed that much, or it's not really so much of like a driving force in her life. Why did you make the decision? Like how conscious was it?
It was really conscious. And I went through a lot of different variations of like, I had some versions of the script where the father was in the picture, and then ultimately at the end of the day, I was really trying to focus on the stepmother, the stepsisters, the dynamic with her and Cinderella. And it just sort of felt like, as brutal as this is, it felt like, now let's get them out of there. Like, let's just not see
them. Relationship, whatever. It's fine.
Yeah. And to really, really focus on the stepmother of like, Vivian, Adina's story of just like, gosh, this is the second time now that she is back to square one. And what is, how is she trying to make it? How is she actually takes on Cinderella as one of her own. And through tough love is like, the only way I'm going to get these 3 daughters to improve their lot in life is that they marry. So that is what I'm trying to do. Because that's my experience and what I've learned. Yeah, it was just kind of more helpful to have a clean slate and just focus on our ladies.